Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHONJ Jennifer Aydin spills tea on what was cut from finale. RHONJ star Jennifer Aydin is spilling the tea on what was cut from the season 14 finale. This finale was the reason why there was no reunion, as Bravo felt it more than delivered. Yet, there were some things fans were not privy to, but what were they? Keep reading for more details on what was not shown in the final cut. RHONJ Jennifer Aydin spills tea on what was cut from finale. Jennifer Aydin's big beef this season of RHONJ was with Danielle Cabral. They got into a physical fight at a party Teresa Giudice threw over a hairdressing issue. It was a she said issue, and they were both convinced that they were right. Then, there was a charity event Danielle threw. Jennifer felt that Danielle was being shady by paying herself back and not being completely pure to the charity. They were like oil and water, so when Danielle and Jennifer got too close to each other, it was a dangerous situation. When Teresa had her live podcast event, the women were face to face again and continued to exchange words. Finally, at the Last Supper arranged by Dolores Catania and Jennifer Fessler, they could try and make peace. That did not happen, as Danielle noted how big Jen's house was but so empty and lonely. Eventually, Jen said something about Danielle's husband, Nate, having boobs, and Danielle flew across the table. She left to relax herself, and Jen Fessler left the meal altogether because it was too vicious. However, according to Reality Blurb, there was more to Jen and Danielle's fight that was left on the cutting room floor. Though they went at it during the meal and Jennifer Aydin insulted Nate Cabral, Danielle allegedly had a lot more to say than what was shown. She shared this information. Apparently, it did not stop there, as Danielle also got vicious with her throwing and what she threw. So an unedited version was what fans needed more than uncensored. More to the story. RHONJ alum Kim D also alleged that Danielle Cabral threw the pitcher and it caused a chain reaction. It seems it was far more aggressive than what the editors chose to show, which could be another reason why there was no reunion. Some fans felt the finale did not give enough to warrant a lack of reunion, but all of this aggression could be the nail on the head. As for Jennifer Aydin acting like she was simply defending herself and her husband, did that make fans see things differently? Not really, since she never revealed what Danielle said about Bill to trigger the boob comment. Maybe if they knew, they could unpack the situation differently. Jennifer Aydin sat back in her plush, overstuffed chair, its lavender velvet glimmering in the soft lighting of her well-appointed living room. She took a delicate sip from her crystal goblet, filled with an effervescent golden liquid that sparkled as brightly as her eyes. Today was a special day, and she knew it. The air buzzed with anticipation, and the slight scent of her favorite candle, amber and sandalwood, wafted through the room, creating an atmosphere of serene excitement. "Are you ready?" her friend, a local journalist named Mandy, asked from across the coffee table. She leaned forward, recorder in hand, eager to catch every word of Jennifer's tale. Jennifer smiled a knowing smile, her perfectly manicured nails tapping lightly against the crystal. "Oh, Mandy, where do I even begin?" The reunion finale was intense, but so much was left on the cutting room floor. The viewers have no idea what they missed. Mandy's eyes widened. "Spill the tea, Jennifer. What happened that we didn't see?" "Well," Jennifer began, setting her goblet down gently, "it all started with a conversation between Teresa and Melissa that didn't make it to air. They had a heart-to-heart, if you can believe it. It wasn't just the typical screaming match we all expect. They actually tried to mend fences." "Seriously? Teresa and Melissa? Why didn't they show that?" Mandy asked, incredulous. "Trauma sells, darling," Jennifer said with a wink. "But it was quite touching. They reminisced about their kids growing up together and even talked about planning a family vacation. It was a glimmer of hope amidst all the chaos, but I guess the producers thought it didn't fit the narrative they wanted." Mandy nodded, scribbling furiously in her notebook. "What else? What about the big fight at Dolores' party? It seemed like there was more to that story." Jennifer's eyes sparkled with mischief. "Oh, the party. That was a spectacle. What you didn't see was the aftermath in the garden. After the cameras were supposed to be off, Dolores and I had a long chat. She was really hurt by some things that were said, and we ended up crying together under the moonlight. It was a real moment of sisterhood." "Wow." Mandy said softly. I can't believe they cut that. Jennifer leaned in, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. And you know the whole thing with Margaret? She had this huge reveal about her business, something she'd been keeping secret for months. It was supposed to be her big moment, but it got overshadowed by all the yelling and finger-pointing. Mandy's pen paused. A reveal? What was it? Margaret has been working on a new fashion line, Jennifer revealed, completely different from her previous ventures. She showed us some sketches and they were stunning. We were all really supportive, even Jackie, who usually has something snarky to say. It was a rare moment of unity. That's incredible, Mandy said, shaking her head in disbelief. Why would they cut something so positive? Jennifer shrugged elegantly. Like I said, they have a story they want to tell. But there's more. There was also a scene where Bill and I talked about our relationship. It was raw, it was real, and it showed a side of us that the viewers don't usually get to see. Was it about the affair? Mandy asked cautiously. Partly, Jennifer admitted. But it was more about how we've been rebuilding our marriage. We talked about therapy, about the kids, and about our future. It was a very vulnerable moment for both of us, but I think it got lost in all the other drama. Mandy's eyes were wide with fascination. I can't believe so much was left out. It sounds like this finale could have been a turning point for a lot of you. It could have been, Jennifer agreed. But that's the nature of reality TV. They want the fireworks, the explosions, the big dramatic moments. The quieter, more meaningful stuff doesn't always make the cut. Thank you for sharing all this, Jennifer, Mandy said sincerely. I think the fans will really appreciate knowing what they missed. Jennifer smiled warmly. I hope so. There's so much more to our lives than what you see on screen. We're real people with real emotions, and sometimes that gets lost in all the drama. But I'm glad I could share some of it with you. Mandy clicked off her recorder, and they sat in companionable silence for a moment, the weight of the unspoken truths hanging in the air like a delicate mist. Jennifer felt a sense of relief wash over her. She had always been one to embrace the spotlight, but there was something cathartic about sharing the unseen moments, the pieces of their lives that were just as real but often overlooked. Do you ever get tired of it? Mandy asked suddenly, breaking the silence. Jennifer thought for a moment, her gaze drifting to the window where the afternoon sun cast a golden glow over the garden. Sometimes, she admitted. It's exhausting, always being on, always having. Mandy nodded thoughtfully. You're a strong woman, Jennifer. It takes a lot to put yourself out there like you do. Jennifer smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile. Thank you, Mandy. That means a lot. And thank you for giving me the chance to share the parts that didn't make it to air. It's important for people to see the whole picture, not just the edited version. As Mandy gathered her things and prepared to leave, Jennifer walked her to the door. They exchanged a warm hug, and Jennifer watched as her friend disappeared down the driveway. She closed the door and leaned against it for a moment, taking a deep breath. The reality of reality TV was a complex, multifaceted thing. It was glitzy and glamorous, but it was also raw and real. Today she had peeled back the layers, revealing a glimpse of the truth behind the spectacle, and in doing so, she felt a sense of peace, knowing that she had shared a piece of her heart with those who cared enough to listen.